Coming live in 3, 2, 1. I love your thing, son. Essential. What's happening now? No left to talk. A new podcast that's online now. Entertainment news. I thought this is just starting. And the life of Friday says no love to talk. Oh. It's catchy, I'm gonna tell you. That's what's up.
Well, welcome to Mo Love to Talk podcast. I'm your host, Krista Monique, and to the left of me, we have attorney Vernon McFarland. Let's welcome attorney Vernon. How you doing today?
Great. Thank you for having me.
Good. I'm welcome. Look, you guys know him from Podcast Festival, but I wanted to make sure he come join us on podcast with me. And I am so forward to looking to joining this conversation with him. All things legal. So you ready to enjoy the show today?
Yes, I am. I am.
Okay, well, we're going to get into some quotes of the day. So, I am a big person that loves to quote other people, and I'm a Google queen, right? So, we're going to get some quotes of the day because we do know that in law, there's certain things that you have to abide by, right?
Right.
There's different laws. So, we're going to get into some quotes. So, let me look that up for you today. All right. So darkness cannot drive out darkness. Only light can do that. Hate cannot drive out hate, and only love can do that. That's by Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. We have another quote by lawyers, and it states, in recognizing the humanity of our fellow beings, we pay ourselves the highest tribute. That's by Thurgood Marshall. Another quote says, change is slow and gradual. Then we have the final quote is, you can be underestimated and still be successful. It's by Loretta Lynch, and all of these are by lawyers. So I thought that this was a great tribute to you.
Oh, I appreciate that.
You're welcome. So, do you have a favorite quote that you go by?
Philippians 4:13. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. That's kind of what I go by on a daily basis. Now, one thing I came up with that I tell people is that it's about being honest and self-aware. And I tell folks, if you lie to yourself, you always lie to other people.
I
And so
love
I
it.
always try to be honest with myself about who I am, what I want, and that way I can be honest and forthright with other people.
I love it. And so we got some quotes today. Of course, Sunday was Mother's Day. So I want to personally say happy Mother's Day to my mom, Bertha Rance, and to all of my family, my sisters, and all my aunts, my cousins, and everybody in my family and friends who are mothers, and everybody out there in the Mola at the Top podcast land. Happy Mother's Day. Happy late Mother's Day as well. You have a shout out?
Yes, Carrie Mae. She doesn't like to be on live, but happy Mother's Day to you, Mom, and I love you. And see you soon.
All right, that's wonderful. We do have some watchers, so you guys, please put in a comment and say hello. Let us know where you calling in from and what you're watching us from. We are also going to be taking questions for Attorney Vernon. So if you have any questions, any legal questions, definitely put it in the comments, and he will definitely answer. We'll give you a shout out as well. We're going to get into some events because I am an event planner and I love all things events. So we're going to start off with um Miss Erica Gray. She is doing a July 12th brunch explosion. She's going to have a lot of great speakers. One of them is Miss Black. Mississippi,
Okay,
USA.
that's what's up.
Yes, so she's going to be joining the panel. That is on July the 12th. And the tickets you can get online at eventbrite.com. So go out and support the ladies. Even if you're a guy, go out and support the ladies. It's hosted again by Erica Gray. She owns Curvy Chick LLC. That's one of my friends, Brunch Explosion. So make sure you check out a lot of great speakers. Then we have on there, we have one of my boss brothers. They came on the show like 2 weeks ago, and then they turned me into a cartoon. So if you go to my podcast page, you can see Boss Brothers Universe. You can actually see how they turned me into a
Oh wow, that's some talented kids.
Yes. So I want to give a shout out to Boss Brothers Universe and their parents for all the hard work that they do. And if you see them out there, purchase one of their books. They're only $20. And if you do go to their page, go out there and give them a shout out and share their stuff because they work so hard. Those young men are very talented, and we want to see them go far. So big shout out to Boss Brothers Universe.
They trained to go for real.
Yes.
I ain't gonna lie to you. When I met them, I was
Mhm.
very impressed by their enthusiasm,
Yes.
entrepreneurial spirit. They're gonna be very successful one day, and well, they
Yes.
already are. So I mean,
Yes.
I just look forward to seeing big things from them.
What did you think like when they came on the stage? Because I know I was surprised. I was like, I didn't think that they were going to be like they're well put together, weren't
Yeah,
they?
I mean, you know, we talk about luck was when preparation meets opportunity,
Hmm.
and they're always ready. They're
Yes.
ready to go at a drop of a dime. They got their talking points,
Yes.
and they know how to make sure they ask for that money
Yes.
too.
Look, they gonna get that
Man,
$20.
hey, make sure we take Cash App, PayPal, all of that. So I'm with it. I like it. I do.
That's right. They're young entrepreneurs, aren't
Yes,
they?
very much so.
Because I talked to them, I said, and when I talk to them, they are very well mannered.
Yes,
You
yes,
know, I wish all kids, like I know your kids are the same way because I met them too,
yeah.
and you could tell that they were well versed. So kudos to you too.
Yeah.
Um,
They have good mothers as well. Happy
yes,
Mother's Day to y'all too.
yes, definitely, definitely, definitely. And speaking of lawyer shows, have you ever seen Reasonable Doubt?
I haven't. I haven't. I'll be honest. Once I became a lawyer, I stopped watching lawyer shows
Really?
because
Okay.
it's kind of like this. The belief is hard to get into. Like,
Yes.
oh, that's not how it works.
Yes.
But I have watched a little bit of Lincoln Lawyer, and I'll check it out. You said Reasonable Doubt.
Reasonable Doubt, yeah. So it's with Mars Chester, and that's why I would want
Okay.
to watch it because everybody have been recommending that show to me, and I haven't yet watched it. But I love Mars Chestnut, so that's why I'm gonna watch it.
I
So
got
I'm
you.
just gonna be
I
honest. I'm
got
just watching it for Mars Chestnut.
you.
Like, literally, that's why I'm watching it.
That's understandable.
Mhm. And so then we have the show coming out with BET. I know everybody have seen Tyler Perry's Sisters,
Mhm.
but now it's Divorce Sisters. So now we into the shows that are highlighting divorce. So is that the way everybody is going now that they're trying to, show that divorce is the way and it's gonna be okay even after the divorce? Like I guess that is. So they got a new show coming out on BET. So we're gonna tune in to watch that. I wanted to give a big shout out to my niece that is graduating on tomorrow, Miss Taylor Estes. She's graduating, and my other niece, Dr. Deja McLean, she graduated last Saturday. And so I want to say congratulations to both of y'all. I'm super proud of y'all, and I can't wait to see my other niece graduate and walk across the stage. I know how it felt to walk across the stage. I was so nervous. How was it for you?
At State, I went to Mississippi State undergrad, and it was kind of like it was just so many people. It
Mm.
wasn't very personable. But in law school, I mean, we did it in the Grove at Ole Miss, and it felt like I was in a movie. Kind
Yes.
of had my shades on. My mom was mad to have my shades on, but it was cool. I just felt like I had arrived. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? So it
Yes.
was it's a really cool experience.
Okay, you had all your family there because during COVID they didn't let people, families come. So at least y'all had a
Yeah,
chance to
this
get.
was back in 2010 when I graduated high
Okay.
school. So not to
Okay.
date myself.
Oh no, you still look. You still look young. So look, we're not worried about that because the ladies you can see he looks good. So we don't worry about. And what do they say? Age ain't nothing but a number, right? Okay, so Wine Dine Wednesday is on Social 21 Bistro. So make sure you check that out. Tomorrow's special guest is going to be Henry Rose. Have you ever heard him sing?
No, I haven't.
So, Wine Down Wednesdays, that's a lot of times ladies' night. So, men, I'm just gonna give you a secret. Come here, come here. So, if you're looking for some older women, age 30 and above, that is single, go down to Wine Down Wednesday at Social Bistro. They are grown and sexy. So tell
Where's that located again?
Social 21 Bistro off of County Line Road.
Okay, okay. Put that in
Okay.
my
Put
phone.
a little note in your phone. Okay. Okay. So yeah, so definitely check it out. It's gonna be tomorrow. And they usually do Wind Down Wednesday every Wednesday. And a lot of ladies be there. So just make sure that you just check that on out. And then I said this last week, but I'm a big fan of Jeezy. What about you?
Love Jeezy.
Okay, so Jeezy's coming out with his tour. So get your tickets now because every tour date is going to be sold out. So he's gonna start with June 27th, Miami, Florida. He's gonna end with September 12th, Detroit, Michigan. He's coming closer to Mississippi around July 25th. He's gonna come to Savannah, Georgia, July 26th, Atlanta, Georgia, and he's going to come to Birmingham, Alabama, July 18th. And if you want to go to see him in Tennessee, July 19th. So those are the dates that's closer to Mississippi. I don't see any date. Oh, and August 16th if you want to go to New Orleans to see him.
Well, I'm gonna tell you this. I love Jeezy, but I don't know if anyone's ever heard of Akeem Ali. You know who that is?
No, tell
Akeem
me.
Ali. He's from Jackson, Mississippi.
Okay.
He's in Atlanta now. He just if you follow him on Instagram or Facebook,
Okay.
he'll kind of you kind of see he's a very talented guy. He's got a show here at Dewing Hall in June. What's it, the third? I think it's the June 20th at Dewing Hall here in
Okay.
Jackson, Fondren area.
Okay.
One of
Good.
my favorite artists has got a new album out called Textures,
Okay.
and each song is a texture. Like one is Velcro, one is
Oh,
cashmere,
that's
and
cool.
he flows off of that inspiration. But he's a fantastic freestylist. He's a very bespoke guy. He was just
Mhm.
in I think Vogue.
Ooh.
He and some other rappers,
Okay.
Snoop Dogg, some other
He's
guys
from Mississippi?
from the
What?
Jackson area. I can't remember his real name, but Akeem Ali is the
Yes,
stage name.
yes.
The real talented dude. Look him up. You'll be pleased. I mean, for the fellas, definitely.
Yes.
He has something for the ladies as well. But
Okay. Well, we definitely, and I'm gonna get you to give me his information, and we'll put the information down in the comments
okay,
below
cool.
after the show is because most of my followers they go back and watch it. Like my family and friends, they be at work,
Yeah,
they go back and watch the show.
yeah.
So I like to go ahead and just put that information in there. So you'll get that with me. Oh, thank you. I'm watching. My mom is watching. Hey, mom. So happy belated Mother's Day. She's always faithful. She said, "Send me the link. Send me the link."
Right, right.
So thank you so much. And she also cooked for me tonight. So
What we eating?
so yes, thank you, Mom. I'm gonna be through there and get my food by plate. Thank you. I appreciate it. Yes. Um and then I want to shout out the Parlor Room. Make sure you check out the Parlor Room. It's the all new hookah spot. If you want really great food and a really great ambiance, especially on Wednesday and Thursday nights, they have specials on their different drinks. Make sure you check it out. If you want a VIP table or section, you can contact Damian Hughes. You can go to Parlor Room page on Instagram and you can actually get all the information.
Yeah,
Also,
definitely check out Parlor.
yes.
It's this hidden gem. It's very nice. Booths everywhere. Good music. Good food. And the ratio is fantastic, fellas.
Yes.
So I'm be real with you.
Mhm.
That's where you want to be, and it's a good look right across from from Taste. So it's a really cool spot.
Shout out to Taste as well. We do like to give a shout out to it, Naming Faces. Also, TP's birthday is this week, so we want to say happy early birthday, and he has a birthday celebration coming
Okay,
up
okay.
this Saturday.
That's what's
Uh
up.
huh, and it's the denim birthday party, so he wants you to wear denim.
Okay, I don't think I
Yeah,
need the denim. I
yes.
can fit anymore. I
Yeah.
don't know.
Well, hey, you may go in there and go buy something nice. Get your, you may that's where you may find,
Okay, I'll give me some
yeah,
skinny jeans, some
yeah.
denim skinny jeans.
Yes, yes. So yes, so go wear your denim, and even if you don't have denim, just go check him out. Say happy birthday, give him a shout out and everything on social media because it's his birthday week. So happy birthday, TP, and also check out American Slang Collection www.americanslangcollection.com, and then also make sure you check out Southern Brass Band. Southern, they did my birthday party. I've always promoted them. They've been my clients for over 7 years. So make sure you check them out, book them for your next event, and make sure, Chef ZT, make sure you get him to cater your next wedding, your next event. His food is delicious. Remember,
Yes.
he did our VIP section at the podcast festival. So make sure you check out Chef ZT, and you have anybody else you want to shout out before we get started?
No, I think that's it. I just I'm appreciative for the opportunity to sit here with you and talk a little bit, and hopefully we can help some folks and inform them about various issues and questions they might have.
Okay, then. So we're gonna get into the questions of the day. Questions of the day. So the first question is, can you explain to everyone what level of expertise and what you specialize in your law firm?
Well, I'm essentially I'm a litigator. So what that means is I go to court. So when two entities, people, businesses have a civil dispute involving money, one will sue the other, or for instance, he'll say, "You call my lawyer," and that's who
That's you.
I'm that person. I know to negotiate with the other side. If we can't come to agreement, a lawsuit is filed, and we'll go to court and then we'll go through discovery and hopefully settle it. If not, we'll go to trial. But it's kind of the types of cases I handle.
Mhm.
They kind of go from defending insurance companies and car wreck cases. So, for instance, if you're in a car wreck and you file a claim on your insurance and that person sues you and you got insurance, your insurance company will retain me. Also, different businesses I represent, corporations. So, those are normally, like I said, civil disputes. They sold a product, someone didn't like the product, or it injured someone, or someone was hurt using it. They'll hire me to represent them in litigation.
Okay.
Other things I've done in the past, I've done some domestic cases involving child support and divorces, as well as just kind of some immigration work in the past, but I don't really do that anymore. Toxic tort and environmental stuff as well. So essentially anything dealing with your business, I've handled contracts, mediations, negotiations, but I'm what you would consider in layman's terms a business lawyer. So
Oh, okay.
if you go in, if you have a if you get subpoenaed to go to court, I can't get you out of that. If you got a warrant out, I'm not your guy. I can refer you to someone. I do. I have some people that also do intellectual property law and
Mhm.
patent law. I know a little bit about that, but that's not my wheelhouse. Um, but again, I'm the type of guy that I'd like to give back. If you got a question, I can help you with. I'll help hopefully guide you in the right direction and get you to the person that you need if that isn't me.
Well, just a little sidebar because I know you talked about child support, and I know we have a lot of men, that deal with child support issues a lot of times. What do you think the number one thing that most men like they really need help with, like from a lawyer? What is when they come in and they need the help? What is the one thing that they really need the help with?
Well, the first thing is every man I think should be in their children's life, financially supporting them and with time and presence. But the best thing you can do for you and your child is to put yourself on child support.
Mhm.
Don't let the woman put you on child support because
Okay.
that's all that is that she goes to DHS and she puts you on child support and you have a check. That's nothing to do with your visitation rights. So as a man, You should go to the court, petition the court for your rights, and go ahead and put yourself on child support. I know I hear a lot of guys say, "Oh, well, she ain't got me on child support. I got it good." Well, also, if she doesn't want to let you see your child, she ain't got to, because she got
Right.
control of them. You don't have a court
Yes.
order that says that this day and time
Mhm.
I get my child. And that doesn't say you can't get them other times.
Right.
There's an order. All that says is if we don't agree, we go by the order. If
Mhm.
we agree, I can get them whenever I want to.
Mhm.
So the thing is that order always gives you clarity and certainty. It puts both parties on an even footing place. And now you know how much you're paying them up.
Mhm.
You know your other responsibilities. You know when you're supposed to get them. And then if y'all need to agree otherwise, move around to co-parent. That's fine. But don't avoid the
Yeah.
responsibility. Eventually, you know what I'm saying. And I say another thing too is when your child is an adult or whatever, they can't ever say, you know, you didn't do what you're supposed to
That's
do.
right.
Here's my order. This is what you and your mother agreed upon. This is what she allowed me to do.
Mhm.
And you see that I was there as much as I could be,
Parent.
and that way that child doesn't feel like you just abandoned them or anything, or you were there when you wanted to be.
Yeah.
So again, and another thing also, as the non-custodial parent, as you would call it, you have visitation rights.
Mhm.
So you have the right to exercise those rights. You have
Mhm.
that right not to as well. So, but that order is the the game plan for that relationship, and the game plan for your visitation with your child. So just don't shy away from it. You know what I'm saying? And just make sure that you're handling your
I love
business.
that. I love that tip. That thank you for that. So can you explain from a legal perspective? And I know you said you don't really specialize it, but as much as you possibly can, touch on it. What documents are needed to do a trademark, patent, NDA, non-disclosure, or contracts? Like for an entrepreneur, like for me, I know I do my own contracts. Like say for example, I'm hiring a celebrity. And I go in and I put my write my contracts, because as an entertainment industry, I know what needs to be in the clause, because I know I need them to, like, say for example, post for a certain amount of prior to that, or I need them to show up at a certain time and do certain things for a photo shoot or whatever. So a lot of times the attorney may not know those things I need to put in, but I could always tell them. So how important is it for me to relay that to the attorney? Like, how would I word that to the attorney and say, well, these are the things that I'm needed in the clause? Because I can write a contract, but I will rather, have it where an attorney,
Well, that comes with a consultation. So, first off, you sit down with them, explain to them kind of the background of your business, what you're doing, what are your goals for this contract, what are your goals for this relationship with this person, and then for instance, me, I have contracts, I have go bys, kind of like, okay, this is the starting point.
yes, uh-huh.
Then I'll talk with you and say, okay, so how does this relate, or how does this deal with your industry? Okay,
Hmm.
then you're going to tell me, well, I need her to post this many times, and you're to say this and say that, and then we'll go through that and write that up. We'll have 3 or 4 or 5 drafts maybe.
Okay,
So it's
okay.
not just one draft. The first draft is just going to be getting all the information.
Yes.
Say, okay, this is what you said. Now I'm going to tell you what it means.
Okay, got
So
you.
this is what this means in a legal context, even though this is what it says. So
Oh,
now we may need to change the verbiage a little bit to make sure it says what you want it to mean. All
yes.
right. Now also you have to look at the law of different states. Every state has different laws. So
Okay.
if in Mississippi the laws are one way, Alabama a different way. So you want to make sure that that language that's being construed in Mississippi for Mississippi
Carries
contracts.
over to.
Yes, if you're going to be in Alabama. So for
Yes.
instance, you're doing that contract in Mississippi and sign it,
Yes.
but then you take that same contract and go to Alabama, it may not all those words might not be the same.
Okay,
So
got
you
you.
you want to
That's
you want to be
that's
aware
good
of those things.
information.
So but in regards to a contract, you know once you've done one, they say you've done them all, but that's not true.
Uh-uh.
Every person's different, every situation's different,
Yes.
even whether it's a rental lease or whether it's an entertainment contract.
Mm-hmm.
But when you find someone that has a level of expertise in
Mm-hmm.
your area, it's
Mm-hmm.
kind of been there.
Mm-hmm.
So when you use those terms like you got to post for a certain amount of time, so what does that mean?
yes.
You don't want anyone that doesn't really know the meaning can
Right.
intuitively understand. Okay,
Yes.
well, this is what she said. This is what she means. But
Right.
legally, this is how we need to put that together.
Okay.
Yeah.
So like I normally, like when I do podcasts, I do like a non-disclosure for people that I've never worked with before, and like people who I who may or may not know my brand. And like I like for example, when you're doing like a live podcast like this and you have brand dealership brand deals or sponsorships behind you, you know, there's certain things you can't do. You can't offend certain audiences, and you can't cuss on the podcast and all that. So I normally have that verbiage in my NDAs and stuff. So how important do you think it is for, even like not just for a podcast, but just for entrepreneurs and businesses, when you're trying to get with a lawyer, you know, how important it is for the stress to the audience that you do need an NDA for different type of reasons. It's not just for one reason, but for a lot of different reasons. And can you explain why?
So NDA is a non-disclosure agreement. That is to protect things that haven't really gone public. So this is your competitive advantage. This is how Mo runs her things behind the scenes. You know what I'm saying? This is how the sausage gets made. All
Hmm.
right. So I want to bring you in and I want to work with you, but I don't want you to steal my sausage.
Hmm.
Okay. I don't want you to go down the street, start making your own sausage. Okay.
Right. That's
So,
right.
we used to use a lot of non-compete agreements.
Hmm.
The law is kind of getting away from that, but you can do the same or similar things, and I think it's even stronger with the NDA, because
Yes.
the NDA will say, okay, we're doing business together. We're either agreeing to go into this relationship, or we're talking about it. You
Hmm.
can't disclose these things. And what what I always like to do with any contract is I put penalties in my contract. So if you violate this, it's worth this amount of dollars to me.
Mm-hmm.
So if you go over here and start selling sausage, I ain't saying you can't sell it. You go do it. But you signed this agreement saying you owe me $10,000. You do it, or
Oh,
whatever that is.
yes,
You see what I'm saying?
yes. Now
So
that
now
sounds good.
you've broken this contract,
Hmm.
and now I can go straight to the court and say we're going to sue you for this $10,000 because I got proof you're doing it. You said you weren't going to do it. It's there. You disclose this information, and I'm damaged. So
Yes,
a lot of times people do a contract and say, "Oh well, if you violate the contract, I'm damaged," and then you got
yes.
to go through the court of law and prove those damages. Well, how were you damaged? I got to show that I lost money. I got to do all these things. Well, no, I'm just gonna put the number in the contract. I'm gonna put in the contract that I'm damaged. It's gonna be equal to this number or that number,
Uh-huh.
and so that you already know, is it worth it for you to do that or not?
Well, yes, we're gonna take an intermission because I want to give a shout out to Maya. We are filming in her studio, PYP. She is located at 1048 Greymont. If you ever want the best yoga instructor, reach out to Maya. She is on social media. It's going to be, I'm gonna look it up so I can tell you exactly what.
Protect your peace. And
Protect your
then
peace.
splitrebel.com. You can go sign up. Come and hang out with us. She's got a juice bar right here, tea bar, a sauna. She also has a cold tub,
Salt
a
room.
salt room for
Hmm.
meditation, and a yoga studio. She does personal classes as well. I've been doing yoga here for maybe about 7, 8 months now.
Hmm.
Yeah, about 8 months now, and it's a fantastic thing to help with your mind, body, and soul. Really keeps me grounded and helps with my meditation. And I'm very flexible now too, so that's always a plus.
Yes.
Helps with your coordination as well. She does it 5 nights a week. She also has weekend courses where she goes to various events and locations.
Mhm.
So it's a fantastic opportunity to work on your body, and it's actually, if you look into the research, people that do yoga,
Mhm.
that practice yoga live longer. It's a thing about your coordination and your mental acuity.
Mhm.
It is very helpful to your overall well-being, and it's not as easy as it looks, believe me, but it is very rewarding.
And Maya has been doing this as a passion, and she has helped a lot of different people. I mean, she even works with football players, athletes, and she helped them do yoga. And then also, if you want to go to her page, is naturally, it's Naturally Maya, Maya. And it's also, she's a Lululemon ambassador. She's the founder of PYP Studios. Again, like he mentioned, Spirit Rebel Yoga at PYP Fest. I've been to a lot of her festivals every year. She does one, and they're so phenomenal. She has so many different vendors, and she also teaches yoga live. And then she has a journaling workshop. She has massage therapists. So if you ever see her post the PYP Fest, please make sure you get your tickets because it's well worth it. And then also make sure you come and check her out at her new location here in the Fondren area. Well, no, this is not Fondren. This is like
Bellhaven.
Bellhaven, right? So Bellhaven area. It's a beautiful studio. She did a phenomenal job, and I want to thank you so much, and thank you for referring us to her as well because like this beautiful studio, like it's so beautiful. And I just want to say thank you to Maya, and I love you so much. So I just want to just briefly just talk about how beautiful the
I
studio
don't have
is.
any lower back pain anymore.
Oh,
I
that's
sit down a lot.
wonderful.
I used to travel a lot, and I wasn't living the most healthy lifestyle. But um, doing yoga on a regular basis, I don't have lower back pain anymore, and I credit it to the yoga. I mean, it's really is taking care of my back pain
Hmm.
with something that I was medicating, and now I don't have it. So it's also helped with strengthening my legs from old injuries and from playing sports. So it's not just for the ladies. So
That's right.
it's a very good activity to do, and you'll see the benefits from it very quickly.
And I started taking doing yoga, and I started because she inspired me to do it, is what I started teaching other people. So now I teach other people like, look, you need to take that class. You need to start doing yoga. I start bringing people like when I come to the festival, I'll just like, hey, I'm just gonna get you a ticket. You going with me,
Yeah.
So that's how you do it sometimes. Sometimes you just buy the extra ticket and be like, well, you don't have a choice. You gotta go.
Right. I
But
think
then they love it.
right. I mean, it is an experience. I think the last event she did was at the Veterans Memorial Stadium.
Mhm.
She had hundreds of people out there
Yes.
on at the vet, and there's yoga at
Yes.
the vet. I think she's going to do it again in June, maybe June 24th or
Okay.
something like that.
That's
So I'm
wonderful.
definitely going to be there for that one. But it is something. I mean, it's a whole body experience. You got to take care of your mind, body, and soul. Yoga is one of those things I use. So
I can't wait to come and check out some of these sauna and the salt baths. I can't wait to come check out
yeah.
those too.
Yeah, the sound bath, I'm telling you,
It's good. It's
I had me in
good.
a trance.
Really?
Well, I mean, I meditate, so
Yes,
I'm
I,
used
I
to it.
do
But
too, but
with the
I've never
sound
done a
bath,
sound bath.
man, it is meditation with that sound bath, and it's just like it just puts you in that alpha so much better than
Okay.
just by yourself. So it's a really cool experience.
Okay, well, and then she does have some merch in the front, so you can purchase some merchandise. So thank you so much again, Maya, and thank you so much, Vernon. So we're gonna go back to we're back from our commercial, and we're gonna start back with the questions. So what suggestions do you have or want to provide for a podcaster in regards to allegations or defaming someone so they won't be sued on a podcast or social media platform? Because like I mentioned earlier, nowadays everybody is so sensitive, like so sensitive, and you have to like be very careful about what you say because you don't want to offend anyone. So I like to do like media training for my guest speakers, like the ones who've never been on any panel or the ones who've never done any type of like you speak all the time, like so, and you're well versed, so you already understand the legalities of it. But for ones who's never done any motivational speaking, or they've never done any type of speaking where there's a live at, because when it's a live camera, like there's no going back.
No,
It's not
it's said,
recorded.
it's
You
said, you
can't
can't take
edit
it
it
back.
back. So what kind of legal advice do you provide, or would you provide someone who's starting a podcast? All these podcasters out there, I be cringing when I see these podcasts on YouTube, and I'm like, y'all, you just don't know they may come back and
Well,
bite you.
the biggest thing that I've learned from the law is if you ain't got no money, ain't nobody gonna sue you. That's
Really?
just what it is. Like, I mean,
Uh-huh.
lawyers are not cheap. I advise anyone to get a lawyer if you got any issues. But Save your money. That should be something you have in your budget to have legal counsel. But beyond that, as a podcaster, speak the truth, you know, and then always couch things. This is my opinion.
Mhm.
Like
Mhm.
it's my opinion that this person's not a good person. I'm not saying that. I'm not trying to defame them. Now, defamation and slander, those are things that are false.
Mhm.
If I tell the truth about something that's not false, it's like reporting the news, you know. So I can say what I want to say. But if I say, "Well, you ugly," I mean, that's my opinion.
Yes, yes,
I
yes,
don't think that you're an attractive
yes,
person. There are ways to say things
yes.
and not get in trouble, but uh, the biggest thing is you have to look at a person. So, for instance, if my livelihood is tied to uh, cleaning up homes or something, and I'm always out here bashing her, some person saying they steal and all this stuff with no
Mhm.
proof,
Mhm.
I'm gonna get sued. I'm
Yes,
affecting their livelihood.
yes.
So just be careful what you say about people.
Mhm.
Again, you can have an opinion. That opinion is your right to have. And again, be honest and forthright and speak the truth. But my thing, I've always been the type that I'd rather speak the positive, not the negative. So I shouldn't have to talk bad about someone for someone to like me.
Yes,
That's so. But I do understand in this world, day and age, you clickbait and everybody wants
yes.
to be followed. Those things can happen. But the best thing I would say is, again, speak the truth and make
Mhm.
sure you are clear that this is my opinion. Um, and if you don't have nothing nice to say, don't say
Don't
it.
say it.
You know what I'm
That's what I say
saying?
all the time. And like for me, I think the reason why I can avoid a lot of the chaos and negativity is because literally I try to stay positive.
Yeah,
My platform is so positive. I bring on positive people. And so just like this, protect your peace.
got to.
Look, we're in a perfect place. That's the best explanation.
Tearing people down
It's
gets you you're
nowhere.
gonna end up falling down yourself. That's the best thing I would
Yes,
say.
yes,
But I mean, in this day and age, you're not going to just people aren't just going to be suing you unless like you Steve Harvey or somebody. He out here, yeah. Steve know what he can and can't say. You
yes,
see, and because he got plenty of money. Somebody gonna sue him.
yes.
But for the average podcaster, it's not a big deal. But you
Okay,
always want to be aware of what you're
what you're saying?
saying
That's
and
right.
the persona you're giving off, the image you're getting off. Just be positive. But slander is real. And
Yes,
if you are saying things that could affect someone's livelihood and are
yes.
false, they're going to sue you
That's right.
at the very minimum just to make you stop. So,
Mhm.
just be careful with that.
And I hear a lot of people like on the housewives and all this. They always say a cease and desist. What is the difference between that and
It's
like?
like it's a warning. A cease and desist letter is essentially I hadn't sued you yet. All
Hmm.
right, and Crystal, you've hired me because this person's over here doing something that's affecting me.
Hmm.
And it ain't cost me a whole lot of money yet, but I'm tired of it. It ain't worth me suing them over, but
Okay.
I need them to stop. Whether it's stealing my ideas or they're threatening to do something or talking about you.
Yes.
So I send you the cease and desist letter from your attorney and say, hey, you need to cease and desist this behavior. Stop it. Or else I'm gonna sue you. That's kind of like that shot across the bow or that last warning.
I always wonder because the housewives they use that word like it's just
Oh,
like
they
another
talking
word.
about because it
I
don't
be
matter. They
like,
all talking about each other anyway.
right. I be like, I know y'all not sitting here going to the lawyer every 5 minutes talk
Yes,
about. Are they really?
yes, because I mean it's clickbait. So now you got folks around here thinking that that's what they do. No, like, I mean, the lawyers have to make money like anybody else. It's
Yes.
an economic analysis. Now,
Yes.
if you want to pay me to write letters all the time, I will happily do it.
I know that's
Okay.
right.
But if it ain't no, I'm gonna tell you whether this is worth some money or not. It's not worth your time. Sometimes you gotta be
Yes.
above the BS. Just be
Yes.
above it.
Yes. Okay. Well, thank you for clearing that up. Cause like I was just like I love the housewives, but I just know on the legal side, I've always wondered, do they really go through with their with their proclaimed statement that they're going to really go and do a cease and desist? Like, girl, I'm gonna go do a cease and desist. Like, I know they're not gonna say
They
that.
might do it, but it ain't what I mean. That again. it's just a letter. And so is it really going to stop that person?
Right.
Well, at some point in time, I know you just bluffing. You
Yes.
just saying something.
I
And then are
got
you
you.
really being damaged by this? Like again,
Right.
at the end of the day, you can sue whoever you want to,
Yes.
but a lawyer ain't gonna take a case unless it's actually worth something.
Yes.
You have to actually be injured. If you slip and fall, and I defend companies and for slip and falls and personal
Mhm.
injury. You slip and fall and you want $1 million and you ain't do nothing to get a toenail. You
Oh,
can't do that.
oh,
You
they
actually have
tried
to be
it.
injured.
Yeah.
Your reputation actually has to be injured in a way that we can prove you lost
Yes.
money. So those are the things that we have to think about. It's like, yes, I'm all for you paying me to sue people,
Hmm.
but again, you're gonna be wasting your money if you don't actually have damages.
That's true. That's true. Thank you. I appreciate you giving that information. So, we talked about this earlier on the podcast festival, and I asked you, similar to telemedicine, if there was a telelaw
Mhm.
where you could actually go on there and like FaceTime, and you could just see Attorney Vernon and you can tell him what your problems are, kind of like a consultation. And then y'all go over some things, and at the end, they pay you for that 1 hour consultation. So, would you do something? Would you be interested? Like if somebody created that, now y'all don't take that idea and run with it now, because I may need a patent because I done said that too many times and hadn't had a pad yet. So we're gonna bookmark these. But anyway,
Well, there have been organizations that have
okay,
done similar things
okay,
on a pro bono level and for pay model, where normally it's like a subscription service.
okay,
You get into representation issues, so it's a limited representation essentially. You just want consultation. Most lawyers don't charge for consultation, like
okay,
the $500-700 an hour lawyers, they may charge for a consultation, but most lawyers are not. They're gonna listen to you, give you some advice,
hmm,
and try to get your business.
hmm,
And that's how we live. That's how we make our money. But to just be open have a call in line where you call in and I give you legal advice. That's not how we make our money. I wouldn't see how that would be beneficial
beneficial. Okay,
economically to a lawyer. We do have those services. Each state has what they call pro bono services, free
hmm,
legal services for indigent individuals, for people that can afford lawyers,
okay,
and some of those have call-in lines.
okay,
And so those call-in lines, you'll just you'll sit there, and what happens is they'll call in, ask a question, and the
hmm,
lawyer will get back to them, and they'll kind of answer
okay,
that question for you.
okay,
But you have to meet certain income requirements for that.
hmm,
Also, we in the past, at Stew Pot, I don't know if you're familiar with Stew
hmm,
Pot,
I
but
am.
lawyers will go volunteer
Oh,
there
that's nice.
once a week and be there available for to give advice. 9 times out of 10, most people don't need a lawyer. They just don't know where the services are that they can get.
Right.
So it's just pointing them in the right direction and getting them to the actual organization
Hmm.
or entity they need for their help. But in regards to just lawyers giving out free legal advice, nah. Even if it was being paid by the hour, like for instance, you and I we've been talking 40 minutes or
Yes.
so.
Hmm.
The child support question that you had, that's a 15-minute, still,
Yes.
it'd be hard for me to fill my day up to really make any significant money. And not to say everything's about money, but I do have 4 kids.
Yeah,
So
that's right. And look, and you're not gonna come to work just to be
right, sitting there
looking
waiting on the phone
right.
to ring. So again, it is something that people have done for in a pro bono capacity.
Mhm.
But in regards to just having a hotline, I think there are some, maybe like Legal Shield has maybe a calling line, but you pay a monthly subscription for that.
Okay. And thank you for that information, because that's good to know. Stewpot is a very great organization. They deliver a lot of hot meals, and you can drop off a lot of things, clothes sometimes. A lot of organizations volunteer a lot of times. I volunteered when I used to work at Trustmark downtown. We used to volunteer a lot down there as well. And then I do sometimes just financially, support them too. So if you do have a chance and you have either financially or you have time to go volunteer, like Attorney Vernon said, they do need lawyers sometimes to go down there, but they also need just regular volunteers to go down there as well to help volunteer your time too. So that would be helpful. And that's the stew pot. Um what legal advice would you give to entrepreneurs and new startup businesses to help prevent future lawsuits or trouble on the legal side?
You know, I kind of touched on this earlier. If you're going to start a business, you got to have a budget, right?
Hmm.
You got startup costs. You're going to have overhead costs. Put legal fees in your budget. Just do it.
Legal fees,
Just
y'all.
put it in there. Most attorneys charge anywhere from 150 to $300 an hour, somewhere in there. You call me. It might be I bill every 6 minutes, so that's a point one. All right.
Okay.
So if my hourly rate is $200, a point one is a $20 call. That's
That's not
five
bad.
minutes. Okay. So you call and talk to me for 15 minutes. That's what? That's a point three. That's $60.
That's not bad at all.
Okay. And if you call your attorney up beforehand,
Hmm.
an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure.
Yes.
So what happens is when instead of you just running, full steam ahead because you're an entrepreneur, you're trying to make this money.
Hmm.
You're not really thinking about all the legal ramifications of everything, and then you're like, well, if I get sued, I get sued. I'm not worried.
Hmm.
No, have it in your budget. Get your retainer. Say, okay, my budget says that I can spend $2,000 a year on accounting and legal services. Okay, find me an attorney,
Yep.
give him $1,000 retainer. Okay, so you can call him when you got a question or an issue,
Hmm.
and then you know what? It's a tax deduction.
That's now that part.
So
That
yeah,
part.
he's gonna give you a 1099 at the end of the
1099.
year,
That's
and
right.
you're gonna say you're gonna put that as an above the line deduction. So it's just part of doing business, and you can work hard, but work smart as well. Don't just
Yes.
say okay, you can be the best cook in the world.
Yes.
But if you don't know how to make money, you're not gonna be cooking long.
That's right.
Same thing. There's a lot of attorneys that are really good attorneys, and they don't make a lot of money
No.
because they don't know how to run a business.
No.
Part of running a business is having the support you need.
That's
One
right.
of those supports, again, I tell anybody, get you a good CPA,
Mm-hmm.
get you a good attorney,
That's
get you a
right.
good doctor.
That's right.
That's just what it is. And then you can focus on what makes you the money.
That's right. Now I wanted to give you an opportunity to start shouting out some of your your peers,
Yeah.
your colleagues, in your firm, and also some other colleagues that you have that you want to shout out as attorneys or lawyers, or if anybody wants to refer them if they don't work in your firm.
Okay. Well, I'm the guy at my firm. Just to let you know, I had Chrissy Jones is also one of my law partners. We're a national firm, and we have a satellite office here in Jackson. But also Marcus William and Kevin Bass are some good. I went to law school with them. Good guys. They do a lot of plaintiffs work here, criminal work, defense work, divorces as well for your kind of general practice, whatever you need. Uh, uh, and then Casey Williams, he does a lot of patent work here in Jackson. I went to Mississippi State and Ole Miss with him as well. Very good guys, very capable. Jesse Mitchell was a really good attorney as well. So those are a few of the guys that I kind of refer things to as needed here and there. But beyond that, it's kind of like what's your issue, and then I'll send out a text message and say who does this, who does that, and we'll get you to who you need to get.
I'm interested in know. Do y'all have a group chat going? Do the attorneys have? I just wonder, like, do y'all have a group chat going on?
Well, I mean
Be honest.
the Magnolia Bar Association
Uh-huh.
here in Mississippi, it's primarily minority attorneys,
Hmm.
and so we have a listserv, and we do communicate as a group. Okay, but just between me and my friends, yeah, we have group chats. What you doing?
Yeah.
Whatever.
Okay. Okay.
And then but yeah, if I have an issue, someone has a medical malpractice
Hmm.
case. I'm gonna say, hey, who does that now? Who does
Okay,
who's
that's
doing that?
cool.
And we'll just kind of send that to someone I trust. And
Yes.
I have referred cases to folks years ago that I don't refer cases to them anymore.
Okay.
So if I refer you to somebody, make sure
Yes.
you report back to me and kind of let me know
Yes.
how they did.
Mhm.
That's kind of how we earn our money, it's our
Mhm.
reputation. So, but yeah, we definitely keep our community close knit. We definitely collaborate with each other, work with each other, and even though I'm on the defense side and most of my friends on the plaintiff side, it doesn't mean we can't collaborate.
That's right. I
Make
love
sure that people
that.
get the help they need because at the end of the day, we are service,
That's
and
right.
so we're here to serve people in whatever capacity that might be.
I love that. I love that. So we're gonna get into the last question. How can people get a consultation? We talked about this earlier, but I want to make sure that we kind of get into like the meat, the burger part of it, like the two buns and then it's the meat in the inside.
Yeah.
So how can people get a consultation or contact you for legal advice or hire you for their firm? What's the address, the telephone number for our viewers out there that's listening?
Okay, I got a pretty cool thing here. Let's see if this will work. Let's
Okay.
see.
Okay, so you're gonna
I
do
got I
a
got my
sales
I
pitch.
got my business
Okay.
cards now.
Okay, I like
See if
that.
this works. Let me put that up there. And you can
Okay.
just click that.
That's right.
See if that
Okay.
works.
I love
All right.
it.
But this is me right here. All right. If
Okay.
you
He
need
came
anything,
prepared.
give me a holler. I'll be happy to help you out. And like I
I
said, at the end
love
of the day,
it.
I will get you where you need to be. And hopefully, we can do business. If not, I'll make sure that we get you somewhere to get the help that you need to succeed in whatever your endeavor is.
Well, we got 9 minutes left. Anybody out there that's listening that have any legal advice, if he does not, if that's not his specialty, then we can try to find someone. He'll refer you to someone that he trusts and is a professional in that field to get you, some help in that area. But I definitely want to touch a little bit about the area that you specialize in. Um, which is again child support and what's the other one?
Litigation.
Litigation.
Primarily, I handle cases that when a business would be sued. So, for instance, I'm general counsel for a few companies here in Mississippi. So, kind of like I said, they gave me a retainer. Whenever they call, I answer. They call me right now. I'm gonna
Okay.
go take a call. What's your
Okay.
issue? What you got going on? A lot of times, it's just being a good counselor, making sure I
Mhm.
give them advice because
Mhm.
passion gets involved, people's emotions gets involved in the thing. So, just being a cool head, making sure that they understand the ramifications of what's going on. And if they get sued, then I handle the case. But the child support and domestic issues, I know that from personal experience, and I've handled that pro bono in the past. Just giving back to the community. But primarily, what I do is, as a business person, as a professional, if you get sued, your company or yourself in a professional capacity, I handle those type of cases to defend you. Now I will sue someone if you need me to sue them,
Mhm.
but I'm gonna get paid up front. I'm gonna, so
Yes.
that's why I'm gonna tell you, like, I would refer you to someone that would handle that on a contingency basis,
Yes.
meaning that if you don't get paid, they don't get paid.
Okay.
That's a contingency fee,
Yes.
So they'll end up getting 30, maybe 40%
Uh-huh.
of whatever the
Because they've
they have to
already
pay.
did the work on the
They're doing
first
the
hand.
work. They're doing the work up
Yes.
front without any pay.
Yes.
Whereas me, I get paid by the hour. I'm sorry. I'm gonna
I don't
that's
blame
just how
you
it is.
because I don't blame you because I know me. I'm very specific. I'm very organized. I'm gonna do everything I can to win that case. So if I do all this work and research, I'm gonna want to get paid by the hour.
So,
I think I'm that way. So we're gonna get into the Pod Festival.
yeah.
What did you think when I first reached out to
I
you?
thought you were just talking. I did not realize that that was a real thing. I was like, okay, that sounds cool. And I was very impressed by your work ethic and how you pulled everything together. But like I said, I'm a man of my word. If I say I'm gonna do something, I'm gonna do it. It doesn't matter what it is. Like I said, I'm a calendar guy. If I say I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna put it on my calendar. I'm gonna be there. Now, my expectations were exceeded phenomenally. I think you did a fantastic
Thank
job.
you.
I think he's laid the foundation for something that could be very cool for Jackson in the future. I'm just happy for it. But yes, I was pleasantly surprised. You did a really good job. I know
Thank
you had
you.
a lot of help behind the scenes, but it was great. And I just like the way that you just seem to be the type of person like you got something in your mind,
Mhm.
you're gonna make it happen.
Yes.
And so that's just awesome. I think you'll do great things. Just put your
Thank you.
mind to it. So
And I love your spirit. I love having you part of the team. I hope that every year you sign up and you want to do it. I hope you never get tired of doing it. I think you and like I said, we talked.
yeah.
We talked. And clock that T. We may have an announcement coming up soon. So, 2026, I told y'all the podcast festival only gets bigger, right?
Only. You
And
don't go back. You go forward.
this year we had a female host.
Well, my name's Mo too.
So somebody, a birdie told me that, maybe we need to switch it up and put like some
Masculine energy.
masculine energy in there. So I said, hmm, I think that's right. So maybe we need to announce tonight.
No, 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 no. You all the way out in Atlanta and stuff. You might be on the Steve Harvey show in a couple of weeks. Leave me here not knowing how to do nothing.
I would never do that. I would never do you like that. But literally, I know you'll be a great host.
Oh, well, I appreciate that.
So if you want to take on that position,
We're definitely gonna talk about it. We're gonna talk
okay,
about it. But
okay.
I know, because when I say yes, I mean it. So
Okay,
I
so
want you to,
look.
yeah.
So I want y'all. If we can get how many people in the
I
comments?
don't know. I don't know.
If we can get Oh, I got something better. So if we can get to 500 views,
Okay,
five
that's
hundred
good. That's good.
views. If we can get to 500 views, because the one last week we already at 300 and something. It's just been a week.
Yeah.
So we need y'all to like and share, and keep on sharing. And then 500 views, 500 views. Okay.
All right. Okay, that sounds like a plan. Uh, Miss Shakira Young, thank you for your question. When I was in undergraduate school, she asked who, and
She said, "Who and what inspired you to become a lawyer?"
okay.
Thank you. Hey, how you doing, Miss Young?
When I was in college, being a knucklehead, I got in a little trouble, and I had to hire an attorney. And that attorney was an African American man in the Delta. And I realized then how unjust the world was. I was very sheltered growing up. And so I wanted to help people. I wanted to fight the man. But I got to law school and I did really well. So the big firm started, pursuing me. And so that's one reason that I always do a lot of pro bono work. I try to give back to my community. I learned that, you can help people in different positions. It doesn't really matter where you are. You kind of help where you're at. So, but yeah, I got a little trouble, and I've always been told that I should be a lawyer, even as a young child, and I kind of fought it for years. I thought lawyers were always liars. But then when I got the bug, you know, and got in a little spat, I said, "Man, I could be a lawyer." And then one of my friends said, "Man, you should be a lawyer," and I just went and took the LSAT, and that's all. That's how it happened. Thank you for that question.
Yeah, that's an awesome question. Thank you so much. I appreciate you for checking in. And I thank y'all so much. And thank you, Attorney Vernon, for tuning in. And well, joining us on Mother of the Top podcast. And I also want a special shout out to Maya with Protect Your Peace in her beautiful yoga studio. So again, make sure you check it out. It's at 1048 Greymont Avenue in Jackson, Mississippi.
SplitRebel.com.
That's right. And yoga is going to be really great for you. I think this is the year of yoga. What you think?
I mean, it's always been a year of yoga. I'm telling you, I just didn't know about it. You know,
Mhm.
but it is a situation where I think she's doing some really big things
I
here in
think so
Jackson,
too.
getting people inspired. And I mean, it's when you want to take care of your whole body, this is part of that process, you know.
And what's okay? So I'm gonna tell y'all before we leave. I'm gonna tell y'all my favorite move. So my favorite move is the one when you put you know you have your leg like this, and then you have your leg like this, like this.
Warrior Three.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's my favorite move, and because I can, and I hold my arms out like this, because Maya has taught me to have balance.
Yeah.
And so and I was good at ballet, but because I hadn't done ballet in years, well, since I was little. So, but Maya taught me to have balance again. And I literally first when I'm doing it, I zone in, and then I kind of like she taught us to like just control your balance. And when I control my balance, I'm thinking, because she's talking to us while we thinking and we're closing our eyes. And then she tell us like to just hold your arms out to get your balance. And when you hold your arms out, then just put one leg up to your other leg and just hold it, hold it, hold it, hold it. And she has music going at the same time, y'all. And then once you get through, it's just like, namaste. So it's really
It's
calming.
spiritual in a
Then you
way.
go there just a little
Yes, I
bit.
did. I did.
Yeah.
It is
So
a very spiritual thing.
yeah. So anyway, so thank y'all again.
What's up, ZT?
Hi, chef. Hey, chef. So, I want to say thank you again to Attorney Vernon.
Thanks for having me.
He's a director at Marvin in Ridgeland, Mississippi. So, if you need any attorney, legal advice, he would definitely do a consultation. Just check him out. She said, I think he would be a great host. Okay, see? See, I told y'all.
We gotta get 500 likes on
That's
the
right.
video.
That's right. We got to get 500. We got to get up to 500. So, yeah, so I appreciate you again. Again, thank you everybody for tuning in to My Love's the Top podcast. This is your girl, Krista Monique. And yes, we're going to be Podcast Festival 2026. Yes.
All right, y'all take care.
All right. Thank
Peace and
y'all.
love.
We're going to hit my theme song.
Yeah. It's gonna be my theme song in a minute.
That's right. Okay, girls. Hey.
Oh, universe, man. Universe is hilarious.
Hey. All right. Bye bye, y'all.